Whoa.
Wow.
Billingsworth.
This is a slam
Billingsworth.
dunk, dude. Don't worry about it.
Horrible man. Horrible. You're a horrible man.
All right. Order in this courtroom. Order. 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 Let's start out with our opening arguments, starting with the defense.
Your
All right.
Honor, this is clearly a case of misunderstanding. My client was just checking to see if the panties needed to be washed. How else are you supposed to tell if they're dirty?
Do you have any evidence to present this?
Yes. Please submit into evidence.
Isn't the prosecution supposed to start, sir? I'm the one bringing charges.
This is my courtroom. I determine the rules.
I
For
submit to you the Facebook page taken from the church website and forum, in which multiple women from the church in this thread admit that it's necessary to sniff laundry to make sure it's clean or dirty when it's left on the floor like a heathen. My client may be a heathen. That's true. He leaves his clean laundry in the floor and has to sniff everything to see if it's clean, but he's not a monster.
I beg to differ.
All right, prosecution, your counter argument.
While she has Facebook accounts of ladies talking about how they sniff their laundry, we have Wise camera footage from his employer's house that was posted on his hidden Instagram account of him wearing his employer's panties as a scary mask.
You're supposed to tell me this shit, kid. Didn't I tell you?
Defense.
It's attorney-client privilege. I need to know this shit before we get in here.
Order, order. Defense, you should have been this is some serious allegations. What is your counter argument?
Well, Your Honor, he has a dusty landline phone. Okay, the last time he got a phone call was in 2005. The internet is all my client has. It's all he's got, man.
How does that explain why he was caught with the ladies' undergarments?
Because he made the very first call ever since 2003, the night that he was allegedly caught on the Wise cameras. Now, Your Honor, how could he be in two places at once? Honestly. I submit that the video footage is AI, made by none other than the employer themselves. Because my client is having an affair with his employer's wife. He
What?
is guilty of an affair, but he is not
That
guilty
doesn't-
of wearing panties. You see, this whole court, it's a slanderous act to make him look like a scumbag to his
Your
employer's
Honor.
wife.
She said this infraction happened in 2003, and then she said it was an AI video. Have you seen AI from 2003, sir?
No, sir,
Explain.
I said he had not had a call on his dusty landline since 2003, sir.
Defense will now be silent. Prosecution, continue.
All right. Not only has he been sniffing them, he has been seeking jobs doing housework for rich and famous people, and he has a bank account full of money because he's been stealing their panties and selling them online.
Defense, this is a serious allegation against your client.
Objection, Your Honor. Improper character evidence and speculation. He doesn't have anything to concretely prove these allegations. This is a circus.
Except a bank account full of money and picture evidence of each posting of him trying to sell the panties online. Your
However,
Honor.
it's a Swiss bank account and it's under a pseudonym name that is in no way tied to my client.
Except for the fact we have evidence of him accessing said account.
No, what they have is a used tissue. I saw it in Discovery. It's not anything that ties him to the bank account. They're literally so arrogant about putting forward a fraud case that the man put a used Kleenex in a Ziploc bag in discovery. You know, that's really offensive to my profession to go
The
into with
used
so-called
Kleenex,
evidence, and it's a tissue.
the used Kleenex does not tie him to that, but it does tie his DNA evidence to the scene of the panties theft.
And what kind of DNA evidence per se? The prosecution.
Well, you don't specifically want to know exactly what kind of evidence, but this evidence was found all the way from the floor up to the antique chandelier hanging above her underwear drawer.
Oh, that's a absolutely ridiculous accusation. Objection, vague speculation, compound questions.
Over. Order. Order. And your objection is overruled. Mr. Billingsworth, I would have thought you would have a better sense and a better character.
I also have one more piece of evidence I would like to present at this time.
Go ahead, prosecution, since the defense is acting in such an unprofessional manner.
We also have an old suitcase that he's been keeping full of stolen panties that was found under his bed.
Defense, what do you say? What do you got to say?
It was not an old suitcase. Again with the lies. They just pour out of your mouth. It was an empty pizza box, and it had old pizza crust in it. There were no panties, Your Honor. I had it professionally inspected by forensics.
There was panties, but there was also crust.
Oh. Two things. Prosecution. Firstly, how do you mistake a suitcase
Listen, dude,
for
I'm trying here, but I
for a
think you're
pizza
fucked.
box?
I don't know what to tell you. I really think you're
Well, I
going
think
to
we
jail.
more focused on the contents of said container and not the container itself, Your Honor.
That is also true. Defense.
Also found within the pizza box was melted wax, but I don't see how it has literally any bearing on the current narrative.
Prosecute.
Well-
I got no words. Prosecution.
We also found pizza, panties, and melted wax in the rental car that Billingsworth rented just 2 days prior.
Ooh. Ooh. Defense, your client is not looking too good here.
And that's 5 on 5. That's all the evidence and defense that we can present. So it's ruling time.
That is correct. Starting with the defense, submit your closing argument.
Your Honor, I've never tried to defend a so obviously guilty man in my life, but I honestly, I think he's just gross. I don't think that he's a threat to the community. He's dead ass gross, dude. He's gross as fuck. He might be the grossest dude I've ever met, but he's not guilty of wearing the panties. I submit that he probably just collected a lot, and we, how much further into this do we really need to go?
Fair enough.
I think he needs to go into a jail cell. That's I feel
Dude,
as if I have
you're gonna have
presented
to
all
do
the
some jail
evidence here
time.
today.
I'm sorry. It's out of my hands, man.
I'm
Prosecution.
done, Your Honor. I'm done, Your Honor.
After hearing the arguments and the evidence presented against Mr. Billingsworth, I have to say, enough of that. Enough of that obscene gestures. And if you continue doing that, I'll hold you in contempt, defense.
I can't believe she's acting like
funniest thing ever.
Order in my court. Order in my court. Now, with the evidence presented against Mr. Billingsworth and the evidence presented to try and plead his case, I'm sorry, Mr. Billingsworth, but you will need to carry out your sentence. However, it be carried out in community service. This court's adjourned.
Woo! Let's go.